Greetings from Mount Claret. I'm Tom McGuire. Today's Friday, April the 17th, 2020, and I wanted to give you another weekly update on how we're doing at Mount Claret. So we live streamed our Mass again this past Sunday, Easter Sunday. However, a case of operator error caused it to be muted. So the beautiful images that we had of our nicely decorated chapel, but no sound. So as you might figure out who that operator was that caused that error, that would be me. So I apologize to all of you who thought maybe it was your fault on your end with your phone or this or that. It was not. I simply forgot to enable the microphone. So that won't happen again. Some other problem may happen in a future Mass, but I'll make sure that I enable the mic. So I'm grateful that Monsignor Rutz and Eleanor and Graham Johnson are agreed to and are excited about continuing to have the Mass on Sunday, and for us to continue to stream it and make it available for them to, for you to watch it as you're available to. So look for us on Facebook or on YouTube. You just simply need to go to either of those platforms and search on Mount Claret. And at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, we will go live. Maybe a few minutes before, I may do a little sound check ahead of 10 o'clock, just to make sure there's no glitches in there. But regardless, you can watch us live starting at 10 o'clock on either of those two platforms, or you can go to those pages later and watch a replay of the Mass. Monsignor does his typical great homily, and so if nothing else, you know, it's great to hear the readings, the gospel readings, and then the message that Monsignor delivers alongside of it. So, so I'd encourage you to take time to listen in on the Mass. So on Good Friday, we had as many cars as I've seen in our parking lot in over 3 weeks. So Good Friday at Mount Claret is always a pretty busy day with a steady stream of people coming up to pray the Stations of the Cross, but not to the numbers that we had this past Friday. It was really very affirming and very heartwarming for me to see that many people here, given our circumstances, coming up here to pray and to be at this special place. So I'm grateful for all those who were able to be here. And again, I encourage you still, even though Easter Sunday is past, we're still in the Easter season, there's still great reasons to come up to Mount Claret, given this beautiful weather that we're having, and walk our grounds. There's other shrine spaces that are good to go see: the Christ Child Shrine, the Sacred Heart of Jesus Shrine, and Our Lady of Guadalupe up on Little Tepeyac Hill. So again, a beautiful place just to come and hang out. Last Friday, a family laid out a blanket on the grassy front area and had a picnic lunch. So everybody's welcome to come up here. The chapel remains open with the guidelines that we have: no more than 10 people, and maintain our social distancing. So we keep it open from 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. So please, again, feel free to come by and visit this very special place. So I wanted to give you an update on our employee status. We have had to continue to make adjustments in reduction of hours for our hourly employees, and I've also done a salary decrease for salary employees. So we hope that these measures will be temporary, and that we can, but that these efforts will help us stabilize Mount Claret. Because again, that's our goal, is to stabilize ourselves so that we can be in a good position when our circumstances change, to be open and ready to host our retreat ministries back in here and get our Sunday Mass community back together again. But we need that stability now in order to get there. So along those lines, we've applied for the Payroll Protection Program. Many of you may have heard of this. This is a program administered through the Small Business Administration, and it's intended to provide money to smaller organizations to help them with payroll and utilities. So we've been working with Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, who is been identified by the diocese to help parishes and organizations like Mount Claret to process the necessary forms to get the loan. The loan is structured in such a way that if certain criteria is met in paying salaries and bringing back employees to full-time status, that the loan could be forgiven completely forgiven. So that's the direction that we want to go in. We want to make sure that we can take care of our employees, but also in a way that would enable us to be able to receive forgiveness on the loan itself. Our annual appeal, the Fund for Mount Claret, is underway. Again, this is something we do annually at this time of the year from spring until June 30th. Typically, it's critical in raising funds for us to do major maintenance projects like replace flooring, exterior painting of large buildings, other significant maintenance projects that we wouldn't routinely be able to work on during the year. This year's different. We're going to need to direct those funds all towards our operating costs, and again in an effort to stabilize Mount Claret. So we'd ask for your generosity and your prayerful consideration of supporting us through the annual appeal. And again, you can go to our website and select the donate button, which will take you to a page that's very easy to follow. It's safe and secure, and you can do a one-time donation, or you could make a pledge of a certain amount over month, and if that would be easier for you to manage that way. But either way, please again keep us in prayer and support us the best you can. So after the end of April, we'll be able to take a look at our financial circumstances. We'll have about 6 weeks of income and expenses that we're fully experiencing what we're in right now. So at that time, we'll take another look at our cash flow analysis and determine where we're at given our cash on hand status. So I'm really grateful for the gift of our finance team. It's Michelle Kilkers, our bookkeeper, and Julie Flanagan is our CPA. Again, they've both done a great job of helping us to understand what our financial situation is, and also helped put together the data necessary to apply for the Payroll Protection Program. So that's it for this week. Again, thank you for tuning in, and I will plan on doing this again next week. And again, just keep us in prayer. St. Anthony Mary Claret, pray for us.